Welcome on into Booby's World right here on the Big Play Network. I'm Nick Padone, Rafa Hernandez Brito.
That's me.
With us as well. We will be joined by Booby Gibson. He is currently
Where in the world
is Booby? We're about to find out any minute. Raf, what is going on? The holiday season is in full swing. The spirit is all around us, but it's a busy week for sports, man. I mean, we got the Cavs, got a little road trip in the works. Of course, we got NBA on Christmas Day. The Browns play Christmas Eve, full slate of NFL games too on Christmas Day. Crazy time to be a sports fan.
And don't forget the college balls.
Yeah.
Who is going to win the national championship in college football, and why Michigan? No, that's a question for another show. Exciting times, you know. I can't wait for. I love the holidays, but I can't wait for them to be over because I love Christmas carols, but I love to sing them like in June, just to get it on people's head, and they don't know why they're whistling Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's because I'm singing it in July. So, happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Happy holidays to everybody out there watching, and I think he's ready. We are going to bring in Booby Gibson. We'll find out what exactly is Booby's favorite holiday song. And Booby, where the hell are you right now?
Hey, man, y'all know, man. I'm out here. My mic is unmuted. Okay, I'm in. I'm at the G League Showcase, man. We out here. I got the guys with me. I actually got my guy just walked up on me right now. I got my guy, Zaire Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna actually come on the show, man. He got an incredible story, man. He's become like a little brother to me. And I mean, that's what I'm doing out here. Basically just working with these guys, mentoring these guys, trying to get these guys to that next level. And the showcase is where they really get the opportunity to show every team what they can do. Like the best of the best come out here. I was mad that not mad because Imani deserved to be called up. But this would have been a great showcase for him to be able to put his talents on full display. But I did see him get in the game the other day, so that was also good.
Yeah, it was really cool. Booby, what's been the best experience? And give it a couple of shout outs if you want to some of the other guys that you're watching closely down there with the G League.
Yeah, I hear you, Ralph, man.
Yeah.
Pete Nance, shout out to Larry Nance, Larry Nance Jr. Pete Nance has been doing an amazing job. He's like what you call like the guys that kind of come in, and he had a great college career, but his last season with North Carolina wasn't what he expected it to be. But that's what the G is about, man. This kid has come in, and right away, you just see him getting better and better and better every day. Last game, he had a double-double, and now guys are even thinking about giving him a two-way. And so, man, we got Devontae Schuler, who's another kid who wants to come on the show with us. Obviously, we all love Sharif Cooper.
Yeah.
But, man, the entire team, man, they've bought in to what we're trying to do as an organization. We won our first game against the G League Ignite. We got Oklahoma City Blue coming up next. But it's just been great to see these guys have the opportunity, but not only have the opportunity, really take advantage of the opportunity and show what they really can do this week. And that's what we're here for.
And you mentioned opportunities, Booby, and you mentioned Imani Bates that got called up because of the injuries, because of the flu bug that was going around, and we have talked about this before, but I love to touch on this topic about the G League because it's so hard for the coaching staff and the good old my good old training buddy Mike Garrity, you know, one of the few guys that goes at 6 a.m. with me to the gym when we're on the road. But
Yes, sir.
you know, you mentioned Imani missing in a way the opportunity to showcase himself in Las Vegas, but also the opportunity for like Sam Merrill is having now here in the NBA, and also for Pete Nance to get those minutes and take advantage of that. But how difficult is it for the coaching staff and also for the players to handle all these things? And I know you guys have a really hard job into getting these guys ready when that bell rings, in the case of Pete Nance, for example.
Man, you said a name right there, man. Shout out to Sam the man,
Yeah.
man.
Summertime.
Sam. You know, I love to see guys making shots, man. And Sam is what the G League is all about, man. Sam came down last year, and he was about his business. And now we're seeing him reap the benefits of getting out there and doing his thing at the next level. But you're right, Ralph, man. It's tough because as a G League team, right, you want to win. And so in order to win, you want to have your guys on the floor with you. But the whole goal is to get these guys to the next level. The whole goal is to get these guys into the NBA. So you got to be okay with some of the losses because your guys have got called up to the league. That means you're doing your job well if you're losing games. And so that's kind of what happened to us recently. But for me, that's been the biggest bonus. The biggest benefit of being in the G is the opportunity to get these guys at ground zero, man, when they're so hungry and so thirsty for knowledge. Like right now, they want to know the tricks. They want to know what it takes to get
Yeah.
to that level. And so they're all sponges. They just wait for it. They just listening and hoping that you can give them that gem that can get them to the next level. But it is a tough thing to do. Guys going up and down at that level. But I mean, that's why we here, man. We look forward to the opportunity, and we working hard every day, hoping that these guys get a chance to fulfill their dreams.
Booby, we're gonna snag a quick break. Before we do, favorite Christmas song. We got to hear it. Favorite Christmas carol.
I want a hippopotamus
I
for
don't-
Christmas.
And Mariah be making
Yeah.
a killing around it.
Please, come on.
Yeah, that's the best
Mariah
one,
be
Rob.
making a killing. I don't want
A lot for Christmas.
Oh my
There
God.
is just one thing I need, and I
Jesus.
don't.
That's not a Christmas song.
We're
man.
going
Hey.
to break. We'll be right back with some Cavs
You guys
headlines.
have no child.
Welcome on in to Booby's World right here on the Big Play Network. I'm Nick Padone, Rafa Hernandez Brito, and of course, Daniel Booby Gibson joining us from the G League Showcase out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. But of course, we got to hit some Cavs headlines with Booby. Booby, you know, the Cavs had that disappointing news. Garland is going to be out for a minute. Mobley's going to be out for a minute. But Sam Merrill stepped up. Craig Porter Jr. started a couple games. Tristan Thompson's getting some more minutes. How do the Cavs stay afloat without some of these, all-star pieces that they're going to be missing for a little while?
Hey, listen, Nick. You know the first thing I'm gonna say is fans don't panic. It's a long season, and what's happening right now is the guys that are gonna get an opportunity. Is the guys that don't get a lot of minutes, they're gonna get the opportunity to grow. They're gonna get an opportunity to build some confidence, gain a little bit of chemistry, and get some trust from coach. Because I think that's what's happened with Sam. I think we all felt like he was capable of making shots, but now we know he's capable of making shots. So what happens is when those playoffs start to roll around and guys get healthy, coach has now another weapon that he can pull out when it comes crunch time or when it comes playoff time. So it'll hurt a little bit because we may lose some games here and there, but just due to not the guys not being healthy. But in the long run, I think that it helps us as a team overall with guys getting minutes and guys gaining familiarity, especially a kid like Craig Porter, who will get an opportunity to play a lot during this time and just find his groove and just show the NBA and show himself that he belongs.
And an opportunity to learn too, because Sam and I spent some time. By the way, he spent I think 2 years in Nicaragua. He's fluent in Spanish, so we practice Spanish every now and then. And he was a little frustrated at the beginning of the season because he's definitely the best shooter in the team, and the shots weren't going in when he was coming in. And at the time, he wasn't getting the consistent minute that he's going to be getting now. But, the thing that we always talked about is just keep shooting, bro, because that's what you do, and that's why you're in there. Just keep shooting
man,
it.
Hey, Rob, you spoke to something, and that's what it's about. Just the opportunity to get on the floor and work through that, though. Work through those moments where you're missing. Because sometimes when you first get out there, your adrenaline's pumping. You're going 100 miles an hour. You don't feel like yourself until you get out there and maybe get a elbow to the chops or, you miss
A hard
couple
screen.
shots. Yeah. Shout out to Draymond, right?
Yeah. I didn't say hard moving screen. I said hard screen.
But like just getting that NBA feel, just getting that adrenaline pumping, smelling the popcorn, that kind of just prepares you for that moment, man. And I think these guys will get an opportunity here now with so many guys being out. But that's one of my New Year's resolutions.
But
man.
one of the things that I think is important for people to realize, and you see it now that we have, with Don being out sick for the non-COVID illness, we had 3 of our starters, probably the 3 top scorers this season, right? And
best three
One
players.
thing that I love for people to realize is that when you go to an NBA game and you see 3 or 4 guys that never play, trust me, those guys can play basketball. They're one of the best 400, close to 500 basketball players
Rob,
in the country.
I don't mean to cut you off, but
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was trying to understand like the how hard it is to make it to the NBA. There's only 450 jobs
Yeah.
Yeah.
out of millions and millions and millions of people that want an opportunity to play in the league. So it's every guy on the NBA roster can play basketball.
And not only you need the consistent minutes to show and force the coach, right? That's a problem that the coach like to have to play this guy, but also to be in the right situation. And I think
Yes.
that's for our guys right now. Our culture is built around togetherness, around one more, the core values that JB has put on in creating this winning culture. And with 3 guys out, there's no time to feel sorry. Nobody in the NBA is going to feel sorry for the Cavaliers for missing 4 weeks of Darius Garland or 8 weeks of Evan Mobley. But guess what?
Absolutely not.
They're also going to feel bad because Sam Merrill is going to step in and do what he's doing consecutive career nights. Obviously, he got hurt in the second night when he scored 27 and against Houston, and now missed the second half of the game the other night against who did we play? Utah. What?
Utah.
Was it?
Utah.
Yeah.
Utah.
So, but the important thing is this: we're trying to come up. In the Spanish broadcast, we have nicknames for everybody. So we're trying to come up with a nickname for Sam because he wasn't really in the mix to come up with a nickname. So I think summertime is going to be try every time he hits a 3 and see what happens, Booby. But you got to love. I asked Mark Price this question. I'll ask you. Who has a faster release, Sam Merrill or Booby Gibson?
Oh, hey, me and Sam actually talked about this. His release is so fast, so much faster than mine.
It's kind of
Wait, Mark Price said the same thing, but then he said, but I'm faster.
It's got such
I wouldn't give him the nod as the better shooter just
Yeah.
yet.
No. Correct.
But no, that release, oh my God, it's so fast. And like, I feel like even watching him last year, watching him get double teamed, watching teams prepare for him every night, and him still come out and be able to get that shot off, it's just a testament. And I want to give Sam a lot of love here, man. Sam is a worker.
Oh,
he's the first. He's
yeah.
the first one in the gym, last one to leave. And so the product that you see on the floor and the confidence that you see him play with is a direct result of him getting in the gym early and putting in the work, man. So kids out there, if you watching, put the work in, and that's the only way you can get a release that quick and a jump shot that pretty, man.
And make it.
The work in.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a
Gotta go
Corver-esque release. The way he's got that little leg kick working too. It reminds me exactly of Kyle Corver. Booby, we got an obscure Cavs stat for you here.
Uh-oh.
This is really random. The Cavs have won 11 straight overtime games. I think every overtime game that Evan Mobley has played in the NBA, he's won.
Way before him, too.
Is that a fluke stat, Booby, or is there something that makes the Cavs so good in overtime?
Hey, listen, man. I'm rocking with JB and the culture. That's a culture. That's a culture thing because in order to win in overtime, you got to have a mentality that the game's not over and we're not gonna be phased in the moment. Those are the teams that win in overtime, and they just keep playing the same way. They don't change anything, and they have a belief in each other that we've prepared more and we work harder, so we gonna outlast you. So I'm gonna just put it on. I'm gonna give some love to JB and say that's a culture thing, and everybody can't do it because a lot of teams will get to that moment and resort to old habits, and that's how they end up losing those games. So shout out to JB for continuing to put that culture in place in the land.
And I'll keep saying it, man. I'll ride with you, Booby. The core values that JB has instilled in this team, and I don't remember all 11 overtime games, but I'm pretty sure all of the games were like close games or games or runs, like the game of basketball is. And one of JB's core values is one more. Right? There's always doing one more than the other. One more pass. That's what we've been having over 30 assists in this in the last homestand. And I think it has a lot to do, not just a little bit, but a lot to do with the culture and the mindset that JB has these guys on. And like, okay, you know what? 5 more minutes with this close. We work this hard. Let's get one more in and get out of here with the W. So no fluke at all.
One more minute, one more
Yeah.
hustle play,
One more loose
more
ball,
defensive
everything.
stop. Yeah,
Win the
he
scrap, baby. Win the scrap.
win the scrap, man. And he's embedded that in the culture of these guys, and they believe it. They
Yep.
believe it. They feel like every game they can win, no matter how much they down, no matter what the circumstance is. They feel like they can go out there and get that dub.
Absolutely. Booby, you want to stick around with us and talk some NBA All-Star voting?
Listen, man, I got about my guys over here waiting on me. I still got a little more time. I got 4-5 minutes to. I don't want to leave. I can't leave. I love you guys.
He can't leave. It's
your
Booby's
world,
world.
man.
We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome on back into Booby's World right here on the Big Play Network. I'm Nick Padone, Rafa Hernandez Brito, Cavs bilingual play-by-play announcer, and of course, Cavalier legend, Daniel Booby Gibson. Guys, NBA All-Star voting is open now through January 20th, and we want to remind everybody out there, VoteCavs.com is the place to go. Go vote for our Cavaliers. We talk about these guys on the show every single week, and we want to see them representing the land in the All-Star game this winter. So go to VoteCavs.com. Booby, who do you want to see from the Cavs in this All-Star game, man?
Everybody.
Let's put the entire team in there. You know what I mean? I'm trying. Can we get some Sam votes in there?
Yeah.
But nah, I'm over here. I'm tapping in with my guys, man. I'm gonna get Devontae Schuler on the show. He's right here. Gabe Asaboy, and I'm gonna get him on the show. These guys, they over here sit. They see me on the podcast, so they want some action. So I got to give my guys some love. But man, no, if we want to get to it, obviously Don deserves to be there, no question. I'm going with DG. Down the line, I feel like for us, we haven't had to start because we haven't been healthy. But anytime these guys have been on the floor, man, they've been productive. I felt like DZ was, man, he was finding that groove, man, right before that injury. He was getting to being himself, being aggressive with the assist and the playmaking. So yeah, I'm going big three for sure. And I'm like me, I'm giving some love to my charge guy, man. I want to see Sam in the 3-point shootout or something.
Yeah.
All right. We just put it out there. That'd be cool. I think that would be a lot of fun having Sam representing Cleveland.
That's
I
one
caught
noise
an
that we.
amazing stat. Per 48 minutes, Sam is by far above Steph Curry, above. I think it was him and Steph, with 3-point percentage or 3-pointers made or whatever per minute. Sam is miles above Steph. I mean, him and Steph are the only two that are close, and the next guy is miles behind.
Yeah.
So that says a lot about Sam and what he's been able to do in this short time.
And I'll get to the sideshow later, but before I go on, I think this is the time where all the fans of the Cavs, the Cavs Nation, needs to come up and strongly support our guys. VoteCavs.com. There are some days like Christmas Day, New Year's Day, and January 5th,
Votes
and all
are
those days, three for one. So that's the time where you really show your support, because we want our guys not only get to the Indianapolis because they have earned it, right? Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, and also you have to support. They have to earn that. I think that's a good flag. No, it's a good medal that every player can have. But this is when we show them how much we appreciate the hard work they put in. And I think Sam Merrill in the 3-point shooting contest is a must. And I think we have to find a way to revive the Slam Dunk Championship. I think Ant should be in. He wants to get paid, but I think Anthony Edwards should be in there.
Here we go.
I know the minivan comes because of dunking, so why not Niang? Just to show these guys how to put it up there in the Slam Dunk Championship. The minivan against all the Ferraris in the NBA.
Man, hey, listen, man, they'll ban the NBA dunk contest. Shout out to Georgie. We can put Georgie in the 3-point shootout, but we're going to keep him far away from
Keep him outside of the paint.
We're going to keep him far away from the dunk contest. But I'm with you, man. We gotta revive it. And the way to revive it, I believe, is to get your big names in there. I know Ja won't do it, but Ja would bring out so much fanfare for a dunk contest.
He needs that right now, though.
Right, and I really, like you said, man, it's all about those, in the past, those big names would just get out there and just showcase their talent and show the world what they can do. And to your point, before that, the Cleveland, we have the best fans in the world. We have the best fans in the world. I've said it from the
Show
day
it.
that I've gotten there, and I watched them cheer guys on. Whether we win or lose, our fans are going to show up. And so when it comes to getting these guys into this All-Star game, I'm not worried. I know our fans are going to come out and they're going to show that die-hard land support that they always show. So Cavs, go vote our guys in. Let's show the world that we got the best fans in the world, and also the best players.
VoteCavs.com.
VoteCavs.com. Booby, we're going to let you get back to it. Thanks so much for popping on to Booby's World. We will step aside. And then, Ralph, we got to keep this All-Star convo alive. Thanks so much, Booby.
Man, thank you guys for having me. One little thing before I left. I was checking yesterday, I still own the record for most threes made in the rookie-sophomore game. So I'm trying to hang on to as many records as I can. So since we have an all-star talk, Shoot It Booby is still alive, man. It's still alive.
Shoot it, Booby. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome on back into Booby's World right here on the Big Play Network. Ralph, that was fun. Good convo with
Where was
Booby.
he again?
He's in Vegas.
In Vegas. Oof.
Yeah.
Next time we have to do it from the craps table or something like that, you know? Do the show from the blackjack table. I don't know if he's a card player or not.
Oh, I think Booby's a blackjack player for sure.
Yeah.
And I feel like too. How about one time we got to have Booby in here by himself with Ryan, our producer, and then you and me are in Vegas, in Florida, and even Iowa. Get us on the road, man.
When we have to go to Miami for that playoff game for the Browns, maybe that way, or Houston again, or somewhere.
Ralph, I was looking at that. It's starting to look like either Jacksonville or Indianapolis, and that sounds a lot less.
But you never know because the Dolphins have to play the Ravens, the Cowboys, and the Bills.
Yeah,
that might be three L's right there, and then they drop down to.
That's true. That's true. Me and Ralph just want to sneak a vacation.
I know we're traveling for the playoffs, so that's all it is.
That's what this boils down to. We're just trying. We're just trying to get out and see a little bit of sunshine. Me especially. Look how pale I am.
Imagine me. I'll be coming back from Paris to Indianapolis. I'll be kind of like the same.
Same thing.
Same thing.
What? Eiffel Tower, Lucas Oil Stadium. Come on, Ralph, take your pick.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about this NBA All-Star Weekend. Is there anyone in particular that you want to see in other All-Star Weekend events? I think the one that comes to me, and Booby mentioned it, that Rising Stars game has really become so fun. I think seeing Wemby and Chet in that will be really cool. And I think that has kind of taken the spotlight of some of the other events just because that dunk contest has really just fallen flat in recent years.
It'd be interesting to see now that we're going back to West and East. I imagine the Rising Star is going to be also East and West.
I think so.
East versus West. So you'll be Chet and Wemby on the court at the same time. How do you guard that? That's 14 feet of human beings inside the court. So don't you think it'd be interesting to see those two guys together?
Yeah. I mean, that's
who plays center since they're both.
Imagine put them both down there. Why not?
So I don't know. I've never been too into the Rising Star game because I don't know. It doesn't really. Maybe that's the one that they should do. U.S. against the world. 'Cause remember we were talking about how we could fix the NBA game. Hopefully, with the East versus West going back now, it gets a little better product on the court for that. But I think they have to revive the Slam Dunk Championship. I don't know how.
Yeah.
Get sponsors to pay these guys to do it, but then you gotta pay the 3-point shooting guys, and then you gotta pay the other guys. So I think that used to be, with the 3-point shooting contest, the best thing going on Saturday night.
No, absolutely. I mean, and Ralph, think about it like this, man. Like when you would think about all-star games. The Pro Bowl, and especially, the NFL Pro Bowl is nothing. The MLB All-Star Game, they usually play on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
The real draw there is the Home Run Derby. The NBA Slam Dunk Champion, that was it. I mean, people were tuning in just for that, and then everything else was ancillary. So I do think they have to find way to breathe life back into it, and I think it is getting some of those stars involved. I don't know how
I know
they do it,
Edwards
though.
said he wants $1 million to participate, which is kind of crazy, right? Anthony Edwards. But the other thing is, would you be open to inviting some of these YouTubers, dunkers?
I think that would be cool.
They do some stuff that.
But I would need.
The last time I saw a slam dunk championship that I was like kind of interested of was Lavine against Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
I mean, they really went at it, and then they ended up robbing Aaron Gordon of the title. But that's another topic. I don't know, when you have Cole Anthony in the slam dunk championship.
Yeah.
I don't think that's attractive.
And some of the gimmicks, too, I think, are just so played out. Like, how many times are we going to see a guy, just jump over somebody that's taller than him? How many times are we going to see a guy dunk in Timberland boots? Like, we've seen all the gimmicks over and over and over again, and I think that's why it has become so tiresome. I'd be on board with having some of the YouTubers in it, especially I think that brings in a younger demographic, which the NBA is always about, expanding their horizons elsewhere. But I think you have to pair a YouTuber with the actual
Matt
player from the league.
Is he back, do you think, to defend his title?
I think.
Have they announced
I would.
who's going to be?
Shoot, if I'm Matt McClung and that's the only reason why people know my name, you better believe I'm back there with bells on to defend my title. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You, especially if it was Anthony Edwards, John Morant, Donovan Mitchell, I'm still there. That's my title.
Wouldn't you like to see a John Morant, Anthony Edwards, Zion Williamson, and who else we can throw in there that is like a
Donovan?
Yeah, but Donovan is he's a monster dunker when he can, but I'm saying the guys
like
that
a trick dunker,
the guys that are gonna bring that backboard down.
Yeah,
so I think that would be something that will bring the weekend back to what it used to be. Now the game itself is another thing. I don't know what kind of incentive they're gonna put. We have talked about, the winner of the All-Star game gets to host the finals of the in-season tournament. That could be something that can be thrown in there. I don't know how much interest is going to be for everybody to play for that. Obviously, money for charity is always something that inspires these guys. So I'm just hoping that it is a game.
Yeah.
At least for the second half, for example. They're going to joke around and bounce the ball and and take half-court threes and all that, right?
I hope, Raf, you know what I hope? I hope that I could bet the over on it on Tipico because they play no defense. They shoot a ton of threes.
Yeah, but the number is going to be what, 300?
300. Give me it. Give me it. I'll take it. Let's get as crazy as we humanly can. Whatever it is, I'm taking it. But remember, votecavs.com because we got to get some of our Cavs representing.
Of course.
I want to change course of this conversation a little bit and take a look at a different sport.
Mm-hmm.
Big news, the Dodgers are spending money. We've heard this. The Japanese superstar pitcher Yamamoto just signed a 10-year, $326 million contract with the Dodgers. That comes off the heels of Shohei Ohtani inking that $700 million deal. Are these monster contracts good for the sport?
Not at all.
And because we don't see this in basketball. We don't see this in football. Baseball's out of its mind.
Well, that's the biggest problem that baseball has with no salary cap, and in the NBA you have the luxury tax, and in the NFL obviously the what do they call that? What's the word they use in the NBA in the NFL about the parity? Sometimes gives you mediocrity as well, but it kind of makes the front offices work really hard when you have that limitation on the salary cap or the luxury tax, whatever it is. In baseball, what the Dodgers are doing, $1 billion and change, and then going around loopholes with Shohei Ohtani deferring $610 million of his $700 for the next 10 years. It's ridiculous. What I can tell you is that this is going to end. the same way that Alex Rodriguez signing that $250 million for 10 years, 25. Imagine that $25 million a year was a big thing.
Yeah.
Back in the day. And what happened? The Rangers ended up paying half of it for the Yankees to take the other half. I don't know how the Dodgers are going to, $1 billion. Do they really make that money back?
I don't know.
$1 billion and change?
I don't know. And we know Bobby Bonilla Day. We celebrate it every year at the end of this 10-year contract when that Shohei money is actually due and he starts banking in on those deferred payments. We got to find out that actual date that the money hits his bank account, because once Bonilla Day is over, I'm going to start celebrating Ohtani Day.
Do you know why Bobby Bonilla gets that money? Or what the reason was? Fred Wilpon, the owner of the Mets, had paid Bonilla, I forget what the amount was.
Yeah.
But he had met an investor named Madoff, who was making a lot of money in Wall Street. So he asked Bobby Bonilla if they could defer that money because he needed to invest the money with Bernie Madoff. Obviously, it was the Ponzi scheme that never materialized. So that money Fred Wilpon never saw it again. And Bobby Bonilla said, okay, yeah, give me $1 million for the next 35 years. I forget what it was. So, yeah, every July 4th, I think it is Bobby Bonilla Day, right? Or July 5th,
I think
like that.
It's somewhere in July is Bobby Bonilla Day. Man, I hope whoever is running the Dodgers has a little bit better of investment luck here, because that bill comes due eventually. It always does. And I know Shohei's being a team player right now and then taking that huge big-time cut. But, yeah, that check is going to be due in about 10 years here, and those payments are going to have to be fulfilled.
And I don't know how they're going to be making. My point is, if you have an investment of $1 billion, you at least expect two back.
Ralph, you ever hear a dollar dog night?
Yes.
Get ready for $20 dog night.
I can't wait. I feel bad for the season ticket holders at Dodger Stadium.
I don't feel that bad for them.
And at the end of the day, the Yankees are going to still win anyway.
You know why? Because they're going to have a nice sunshine. They get to sit there in the sunshine. No rain delays. What do we get? What do we get here? We get rain. Yeah. We get Austin Hedges. We get blue seats. I don't feel that bad.
Come on, man. You're getting a whole stadium remodeled. Chavez Ravine. The Dodgers are still playing in the same place they moved when they ran away from New York because they weren't getting attention in New York.
Yeah, Progressive Field is just an awesome place too.
I love Progressive. I love it when they opened it, and it was called Jacobs Field.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite places to come watch a game. And it still is. It's just people have to fill it up.
Yeah, people got to fill it up. And I think they will. I like what they've done in recent years and just rip some of those seats out, like all joking aside, because that is an element now of the new baseball generation. Is just you got these younger fans that don't really care that much about the game, and they just want to stand there and have their drinks, and it's more of a social event. So keep removing some of those seats. I think that's what they're doing up top with that party deck, and I think it is going to be an even cooler place to watch games.
And I hope that when they put the new seats, they do what they started doing since Camden Yard was built. That was that as far as you go in the outfield, the seats were still facing home plate.
Yeah,
because the old stadiums, you're sitting like this, and the home plate's over here on your left, right? And at Camden Yard, they built it in a way that every seat's looking at home plate. So, I don't know.
Camden Yards is cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool.
All right, we are going to snag another break, and then when we come back, we're going Booby 4-3. Don't go anywhere. More Booby's World straight ahead. Welcome on back into Booby's World right here on the Big Play Network. We're having a lot of fun. We were joined earlier by Daniel Booby Gibson himself, all the way from Vegas at the G League Showcase, and he's having a lot of fun out there. I mean, we had a couple of guys like photobomb his shot, just jumping in the background, which was super cool. I'm Nick Padone. He's Rafa Hernandez Brito, and now we are going to rank our top 3 Cavs moments of 2023. And Rafa, when you think about this, I think as Cavs fans, we're blessed to have had the 2023 that we've had, because a couple years prior to 2023, a couple years prior to getting Donovan Mitchell here in Cleveland, a list like this would be a little bit more complicated to make. This is pretty easy to make a list like this.
I'm trying to think. Obviously we had to take Sam Merrill's 8 triples a few nights back. And at the moment, at the time that it arrived, I think it was great to see to a guy that worked so hard and deserved all the success that he's been enjoying, taking advantage of his opportunity. So I think Sam Merrill's night, the 2 career nights in consecutive games, is one of those.
I'm on board with it. Yeah, that's huge nights.
From what I remember here, the 7 triple night in opening night for Max Strus debut as a Cavaliers.
Okay,
should be one.
Okay. Rafa, there's 2 big ones that you've left off that I'm.
No. Well, I'm thinking because there's so many. Tristan Thompson getting his double for the first time since 2021, and just bringing in the energy. I think is one that I'll put in there.
Okay.
What else? What am I missing?
How about the second day of 2023? Literally January 2.
Oh, but I'm thinking season.
2023.
I'm thinking this season. I'm sorry. You think, yeah, for sure.
Year.
The 71 night.
Donovan Mitchell going off for 71. How about the Cavs just making the playoffs for the first time without LeBron
what
James
about being
in my life?
Okoro's 3-pointer in Brooklyn. I was just thinking this season. That's why I had left out, Donovan Mitchell 71.9. That was amazing, though.
Yeah.
I'm almost perfect overtime. Talking about being undefeated in overtime.
That was one of them.
Donovan Mitchell just took over, missing the free throw at the end of regulation to get his own rebound and put it back in for the tie.
How about another one? This is a super off the radar, underrated. Probably doesn't make a top 3 moment when you talk about all of the moments that we've talked about thus far. And just a favorite Mitchell moment is when he was going toe-to-toe against Boston, and he said, "I'll make them both."
Yes.
And Grant Williams missed them both. That was just an awesome moment. Was that 2023 or was that?
It has to have been 22. Well, it might have been at the beginning of the season of 22-23.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what was in 2023, and I remember this because it was on my birthday when Dylan Brooks was trying to play rough with Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell wasn't taking of it. I believe that was a turning point for the Cavaliers making the playoff that year. When Donovan Mitchell finally said to Dylan Brooks, "Enough of this, Bush League stuff."
Yeah.
And it got thrown out, but it was something that I believe it kind of showed that we were not just this new young team that had up and coming stars that were actually playing well, but we were actually here to stay and not to be pushed around.
I have a few thoughts on that. First thought being, when that happened, I thought the same exact thing, this is a turning point. But when that happened, that was also a turning point for how the rest of the league perceived Dylan Brooks. I feel like from there, his villain arc really took off, and a lot of players around the league really just started to dislike the guy. And the other night, we got a close look at Donovan versus Dylan Brooks mano-a-mano a few times when the Cavs played the Rockets.
He wasn't really trying to play a role of
And the antics were non-existent because I think Donovan set the
He wasn't
records.
playing with Donovan. Yeah, I think that had a lot to do with it. And also because he had just gotten a technical before coming here for criticizing the referees and all that. So, but I'm pretty sure that February 2nd of 2023 had a lot to do with his antics being non-existent when he came back recently, in late December.
How about that? Those 2 days were that's a month removed. Mitchell 71 happened on January 2nd, and then February 2nd was Mitchell versus Brooks.
Yeah, and I believe that was a turning point. And how about Donovan Mitchell being announced as a starter for the All-Star game?
Yeah,
I think that's also a big game,
huge accomplishment,
a big accompliment for Don, who had a career year last season and is doing the same thing this year. And so there's many events just from the top of my head, but for sure, recently the Sam Merrill night is just an amazing night.
Yeah, absolutely awesome. So many fun moments in 2023. And Ross, something tells me that 2024, when we're doing this show at the end of next year, we're going to have a lot more positive and fun Cavs moments to talk about, because this is a team that continues to ascend upwards. And I know there's the naysayers out there. In our next segment, we're going to do some worst takes and read some bad tweets from this past week. But Raph, I'm telling you, despite all the naysayers, despite all the negativity, the people that want to trade Donovan Mitchell and fire JB Bickerstaff on a nightly basis, this is an organization that still has that green arrow pointing upwards. The future is still so bright for this team.
And we're still working on things. We still got to get better. And I think the best advice for the fans that are really because there's so many like on and off wagoneers, I call them. Like they'll get on the, and it happens during games, and also happens, during the days. But like they'll get on the wagon because we're on a 10-0 run, and they get off the wagon and start firing people and trading people because the opponent just had a 12-0 run. So, but I think there's no team in the NBA that plays the same way in October that they play in November and December. And with the calendar turning, the switch starts getting to turn on, and I think it gets us closer to that feeling that we had at the end of the season. Like we want to make the playoff. We want to get rid of that bad taste, and I think it's gonna bring back that for people that thought that actually maybe they forgot about it. They haven't, and the goal is to play these 82 games, get better, and get ready for what's coming in the playoff.
And get healthy. Please get healthy, because
nothing we can do about it.
That's going to be the most important thing. And if you want the injuries to happen, you'd rather them happen now in December into early January than have them start to mound come April, come May, come playoff time. Yeah. So I'm glad that things are where they are and the Cavs will be healthy.
And just pray, because those are things that we can't handle. Remember when Olynyk came into town the other night, they kept booing him every time he touched the ball. People will never forget him changing the 2015 finals. That's definitely what
Will Boo, and I saw people like national NBA guys were like, could you believe that Cleveland was, hey, listen.
Dude, that change.
Will Boo, our kids will boo, our grandchildren will boo Kenny Olynyk
so,
in this town, because he truly could have cost the Cavs a 2015 banner that season. We're going to step aside more Booby's World straight ahead. Don't go anywhere, because we have our worst take this week. Alrighty, welcome on back into Booby's World right here on the Big Play Network. Rafa Hernandez Brito, I'm Nick Padone. We're wrapping up the show, and we are going to do a new segment with you guys every single week called The Worst Take of the Week. And Raf, this one comes from Garrett Bush. I think he's a local Cleveland radio guy. And here's what he has to say. He says, question for Browns fans. There are scenarios where the Browns can clinch a playoff spot with a win against the Texans and a bunch of other things happening around the league. If the Browns clinch on Sunday, would you sit Joe Flacco the final 2 games out of concern for injuries? Raf, what say you?
Garrett, send us the address for the nail spa, so we can send you the award for the worst and dumbest take of the year. Why would you rest Joe Flacco when you're getting ready to go into the playoff? And if I'm informed correctly, doesn't he get paid per W or per...
So Flacco's contract is almost completely incentive-based. And obviously this isn't a guy that needs money, but he's getting rough $75,000 per win for the Browns.
And he needs the money because his family's been asking for Browns gear for Christmas. And that's not cheap. But I know, it's dumb. It's dumb. I'm sorry. Why would you sit your guy that has been sitting in the couch for the last, year and a half, 2 years?
He's only played 3 games this year.
Come on, Garrett, please.
Does he really need a 3-week break already?
If you don't sit players when you're down 20 points with 3 minutes to go and you're still snapping the ball and colliding in the line of scrimmage and everything, why would you sit this guy for 2 games to finish the season and really get to play with his new teammates?
So every week on the show, we are going to do this, where I absolutely love this, Ryan. We are going to find the worst take out there, and this time it just happened to come from Garrett Bush.
This is the barbershop, the nail spa. What is it?
Rafa calls him the host of the nail spa. I'm sorry, that is very funny. Every week I'm gonna just read them. I'm gonna tee them up, and we'll let Rafa just rip it to shreds. It could be Cavs, it could be NFL, it could be MLB, it could be anything.
Get ready, Goldhammer. You're next.
Don't do that to Don't do that to my guy. Rafa's coming after your bad tweets. So before you send post on that Bird app, you better think twice, because this man right here is coming for you. He has no mercy. He has no shame. He's ripping all these to shreds. Rob, you got a busy couple weeks coming up here, man, because we got the Cavs. You're about to hit the road and then back here for the Browns game. Christmas
and
Eve.
the second I start doing January 1st, my countdown for spring training begins.
Spring training is on.
You know, good year is in the horizon, and I can't wait to. Well, I might have good news for you guys for the Browns in Espanol coming up. You know, in a couple of shows.
Okay, okay. Well, Ralph, are real quick. Are you heading out to Goodyear? You know, last year I hit it up.
I might
Got
have
some
to now.
Tacos Chivas. I might have to go hit.
I might
that
have to
up
go for a
again, too.
weekend.
All right, all
Well,
right.
listen, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Thanks
Happy New
so
Year.
much
Everything.
for tuning in to Booby's World. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll see you next week.